ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानजनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our ISKCON official YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss 11th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, in which Jada Bharat gives instructions to Raja Rahugana, King Rahugana. So, in first 17 verses, Jada Bharat answers the questions of Raja Rahugana, that the essence is mind is the cause of samsara. So, in verse 1, Jada Bharat says that just like Lord said to Arjuna in some Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, similarly, Akavidha Kavidavada Vadan Vadasya Tho Nadividam Varishtaha Na Sureo Hi Vyavahara Manyan Tattvavamarshena Sahamananti. The Ramana, Jadabharat said, my dear king, although you are not at all experienced, you are trying to speak like a very experienced man. An experienced person doesn't speak the way you are speaking about the relationship between a master and a servant, or about material pains and pleasures. These are simply external activities. Any advanced, experienced man, considering the absolute truth, doesn't talk in this way. So in the purports, Prabhupada Maharaj says that Krishna similarly chastised Arjuna, Suchyanam Sochastam Pragyavada Savasase, in the 2nd chapter, 11th verse. While speaking laudant words, you are lamenting for what is not worthy of grief. Asun means this air, vital air, pranavayu. So in 2 and 3, these 2 verses describe Vedas are for less intelligent. Vedas. Actually, person who is on the transcendental platform doesn't care for social behavior that sacrifices spiritual advancement. Social behavior comes within the jurisdiction of karma kanda, material benefit. No one can spiritually advance by such activities. The conditioned soul is always overpowered by the modes of material nature, and consequently he is simply concerned with material benefit and auspicious and inauspicious material things. In 4 to 8, these 5 verses describe mind is the cause of entanglement. Mind. The mind, which is the leader of the senses, is absorbed in material activities like life after life. From time immemorial, we have been rolling in this material world because of this mind. So, mind, which is the leader of the thus he continuously gets different types of bodies and suffers miserable material conditions. On the basis of mental concoction, social behavior has been formulated. If one's mind is absorbed in these activities, it certainly remains conditioned within the material world. So, 9 to 12, these 4 verses describe these functions of mind, different thousands of types functions. According to different opinions, there are 11 or 12 mental activities which can be transformed into hundreds and thousands activities. A person who is not Krishna conscious is subjected to all these mental concoctions and is thus governed by the material energy. So in the 13 and 14, these 2 verses describe liberated souls. The living entity who is free from mental concoctions attains the platform of pure spirit soul, devoid of material contamination. There are 2 types of living entities, Jivatma and Paramatma. So the individual soul and the supreme soul. The supreme soul in his ultimate realization is Lord Vasudeva, Krishna. He enters into everyone's heart and controls the living entity in his different activities. He is therefore the supreme center of all living entities. So in 15 and 17, these 3 verses describe how to be delivered from illusion, this Maya. One can understand the Supreme Soul and one's position in relationship with Him when one is completely freed from the unwanted association of ordinary men. In this way, one can become fit to cross the ocean of nations. The cause of conditioned life is attachment to the external energy, and one has to conquer these mental concoctions. Unless one does so, he will never be freed from mental anxieties. Although mental concoctions have no value, their influence is still very formidable. No one should neglect to control the mind. If one does, the mind becomes so powerful that one immediately forgets his real position, forgetting that he is an eternal servant of Krishna and the service of Krishna is the only business. One is doomed by material nature to serve the object of the senses. So in verse 17, the last verse, Jadavarth says, भ्रातृव्यम एनं तद अदभ्रवीर्यम उपेक्षा अध्येधितम अप्रमतः गुरोर्हरे चरणोपासनास्त्रो जहि बलिकं स्वयं आत्मोषम. This uncontrolled mind is the greatest enemy of the living entity. If one neglects it or gives it a chance, it will grow more and more powerful and will become victorious. Although it is not factual, it is very strong. It covers the constitutional position of the soul. O king, please try to conquer his mind by the weapon of service to the lotus feet of the spiritual master and of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Do this with great care. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada Maharaj says that there is one easy weapon with which the mind can be conquered. There is neglect. Upeksha dhyeditam apramata. Upeksha. The mind is always telling us to do this or that. Therefore, we should be very expert in disobeying the mind's orders. Gradually, the mind should be trained to obey the orders of the soul. It's not that one should obey the orders of the mind. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say that to control the mind, one should beat it with shoes many times just after awakening and again before going to sleep. This way one can control the mind. This is the instructions of all the Shastras. Mind, control the mind. How to give shoe beatings and broom beatings? How to give? So, for example, I will say, just like ours, we need to wake up at Brahma Muhurta, attend Mangalarati. So mind dictates, no, we sleep. So we won't listen to that mind. We should wake up. So there is beating. Similarly, most important points in our bhakti life is this Bhagavad Shravan, hearing Bhagavatam. So when Bhagavad class is going on, we don't like to hear. That is dictation of mind. But we will hear, we will sit, we will hear. That is beating of our mind. In this way, everything which is against against instructions, do's and don'ts are there. Prabhupada Maharaj has laid down. So, a serious student will abide by the rules and regulations so that he can go back to the spiritual world in this very life. That is Prabhupada's intention, and that is also the Lord's intentions. I have heard in Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto 20th chapter how the Lord says this thing to Uddhava. Nurdhayam adhyam sulabham sudalabham prabham sukarpam gurukarnadharam mayanukulina navasutaritam pumanubhavdinatarit swatma. If one gets a human birth and it doesn't avail all these advantages, this human body is a very advantageous position. And this is like a boat. We can cross over this material ocean, and spiritual master is the captain, and the instructions of the Lord are compared to favorable winds. In this way, a person who doesn't take advantage of all these things and doesn't cross over the material ocean, he is committing suicide. So Atma. So thank you very much for listening to this lecture, and please don't forget to subscribe, share and like our channel and get the blessings of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare